Yes, indeed. You're still watching Citizen TV. We are on Power Breakfast. The news review continues. We're just about to wrap it up. And I still have a few issues to discuss here with my panelists. But before that, let me sample some feedback on SMS. Please tell Governor Halwale primary teachers do more important things. The degrees they get are genuine. In the Muli, please ask this vocal senators what they're doing in parliament. They should be serving people in hospitals and in courts. I think they're referring to the Tari and the lawyers present.
So parliament is for illiterate people.
Well,
that's what it's saying.
Someone asked, why is the discussion inclined on Governor Joho and Governor Kabogo and Kidero, on Governor Joho, while Governors Kabogo and Kidero are not mentioned? I think we did mention them.
We did mention them. Maybe that argument was not yet over.
Yes, we did mention them. Wow, quite a number here. They're talking about the education of... what is the academic qualification of the Deputy President's personal assistant? Really? It should even be a point of discussion on this panel.
Yes, class 3. He claims
no.
The
personal assistant of Deputy President was a classmate of Omar Hassan.
It is not.
Nana High School.
It is not.
No, but he told me he was my classmate at Kakamega High School.
That's out of the issue.
It's not even part of the discussion.
Just before the break, Senator Murkomen made some very serious allegations about what happened yesterday. And of course, Senator Halwale, you are very ready to respond to that.
Yes. I think I should start by saying that Murkomen, welcome to the world of competitive politics. Clearly,
I have been here.
No, welcome.
I have been here.
From what you have said, it is clear that we have to welcome you.
Yeah.
And you know, when you realize this assertion that we as Jubilee, we as CORD and you as Jubilee, that Jubilee already decided at every level you'll present only one candidate.
Yes.
And as we are unable to do that as CORD.
Yeah.
Do you know I tell you welcome? If you think, wait until you go for nominations, you will be facing one Kimayo. You face it. So don't you think that...
So what's the problem with that? But what's the problem with that?
Because you think you will not get an opponent.
Suppose I lose? What's the problem with that?
No, I'm not saying you're going to lose.
No, suppose I lose. What's the problem with that?
I wanted to welcome you.
Democracy.
It is not going to be easy the way it was when William Ruto was headhunting for candidates, the way they headhunted you. And then the wave of Jubilee in your area helped you. You're going to face brisk competition. Anyway, that's your
but the problem with his comment, as you said, was because he referred to them as a unity of losers.
So how that's what I want to respond to.
When you say that we are nothing because we are serial losers.
Yes.
Okay?
Perpetual.
It makes a confirmation of the fact that you don't seem to understand the evolution of competitive politics. Even in Ghana, the guy who was sworn in last week was running the 5th time.
No problem.
Even as we speak, Boni Halwale lost the first election.
No problem.
But that did not, the first election in 1997, that did not stop me from now capturing the imagination of voters as subsequent elections.
But you needed to let us say a few things on this.
Really? It's the chance to respond.
No, let him respond.
Why are you irritated?
I have to give Senator Omar...
Why are you irritated?
Senator Halwale, please.
After Senator Omar?
Yes,
please.
So, if for argument's sake, we give Raila the chance to be our presidential candidate, the fact that he has lost 3 other times does not preclude the possibility that he's going to win. Ghana, I have said, the guy has come and won. In Nigeria, Buhari had lost severally, he has won. This is how democracy operates. The issue that you are basing on, that you have the numbers to force a win, would not have been the case when we had made the political playground even by relying on electronic voting. You would have kept quiet and used it. But because you don't have those numbers, somebody's cheating you in your imagination that you're going to force it using money.
Okay, Senator Omar.
Let me tell you, first and foremost, being in the opposition in African democracies, where you realize how rigorous ruling parties are, even in terms of how they try to buy the support bases and to do certain incentives like politicized development and politicized policy is itself a challenge. But this opposition, so to speak, code now, which is evolving into NASA, has done extremely a commendable job in trying to keep the faith of the Kenyan people. What Jubilee does not realize or appreciate, as much as the numbers appear to add up, the dynamics that will inform these elections are different from the dynamics that informed the last election. They are emerging narratives and dynamics which captured the middle that time around. What they don't realize is they are making it appear like politics is static. I get this argument every day, like when you say I'm running against Joho and he's running against Khalwale. Politics is not static. There's a bit uneasy. People want us to just allow every ODM governor and every governor where they are, their place of power. So you don't realize that there's been an evolution, and there are constituencies that you had that are not with you anymore. And when you say that these numbers overwhelmingly beat us, it is not true. The runoff was stolen or avoided, so to speak, by only 8,000 votes. So to speak, when we come with the momentum of the power of ideas. And you see, last election, Hassan Omar was not the Secretary General of Wiper. Neither was Halale, the Deputy Party Leader of Kenya. There is young dynamism that has come into these parties. And they will be able to add another tier of marketing, because politics is partly about marketing. So and I'm happy that they actually sit and listen and try to second guess what we are doing and what we are not doing. They try to have these panic models about how, you know, you combine the collective years of these people who've been in government. Elections, people do lose. Uhuru lost and became the leader of opposition. Indeed. And then they ultimately became president. The evolution of politics, dynamics shifted.
I just need to respond.
Let me just direct you. As we proceed with this conversation, I also want us to think about the voter registration and the politics of numbers. Remember, tiring of numbers was a real thing back in 2013. Is it going to be the same thing? Already, the Deputy President is talking about a possible 4.9 new votes for Jubilee.
Can I
talk about?
Can I talk about what I know? First of all, Senator Khalwale has confirmed it will be Raila Odinga will be on the ballot, and that's what I was saying earlier. Number two, it's a fact that these are losers in the last elections, and they have not added any more figures. We are the ones who have taken figures from them. In fact, what Omar has said, which is correct, is that Jubilee is competing against two things. One, against our own programs. If you saw yesterday, CORD, they never talked about a single thing they want to change in Kenya. They just talked about removing Jubilee. Can I complete what I'm saying? They never mentioned any alternative offer they're giving to the people of Kenya. Just complain and whining. Let me just complete. So we are competing against our programs. Number two, we are competing against the 50+1. Because when it comes to votes between us and the combination of all these people, it's very far behind. When it comes to the numbers, first of all, I wanted to tell Senator Khalwale that the competitors for Senator in Elgeyo Marakwet should not concern you. It's a small issue.
He might be our candidate.
The issue which we are dealing with, is your candidate already. I'm just saying that what concerns us most is, of course, if we were to discuss Elgeyo Marakwet, you would have to give a chance to my competitors also, so that it will be unfair to them. Yes, it will be unfair to them. But even when it comes to me, it's an issue. When we go to the question of numbers, Elgeyo Marakwet County, we have about 98,000 voters who have IDs and not registered. In the 7 counties where we come from, among just the Kalenjin voters, we have 1.6 million voters who are not registered. My appeal here is that both Senator Omar, Senator Khalwale, Senator Wetangula, Mama Tangi, myself, and all other leaders, we spend the next 1 month mobilizing Kenyans regardless of what regions they come from, because voting is a right. Let's get these Kenyans who are about 6 million, you know, they say 6 or 7 million, to come to the voting basket so that they can make decision about the leaders they want. And I want us to change the narrative. Let the narrative not be like we will only mobilize places where we think that we will get voters.
But that
today people, no, just because I come from Elgeyo Marakwet, of course, but even those who are in ODM and they're in Elgeyo Marakwet County, Fort Kenya, and they're from Elgeyo Marakwet County, I have asked them, we join hands together, because today they will vote for me, tomorrow they will vote for another person. Let them have that right and a voice to be able to determine the leaders they want.
Yes,
I think Murkomen has said precisely what I wanted to say, but let me just add my voice to it. But you see, there's a big difference between when I, as a senator or as an individual, wants to run for office. If I fail this time and I run again and again and get maybe re-elected the fourth time, there is a big difference between when a movement or a group like now, Christian them NASA now for the sake of satisfying what is in the air, although as you said they are not there, they don't exist. But you see, when a party when a party tries to win the way they did the last time against Jubilee as ODM and as CORD, and they have consistently failed, that must tell you something. That what they are selling is not in the marketplace, you see, and that is why it's not being accepted or by the people for them to translate it into votes. Now the difference is this, that for all the time, and that's what Murkomen has said, which is very true, if you listen to the CORD narrative from day one up to today, is Jubilee must go. So what after that? There is no talk about this is who we are, this is where we want to go, this is where we want to be. But let me say something on this so-called the narrative of tyranny of numbers and the votes, where they will come from. And I want to show you in figures, in numbers, why Jubilee has the numbers and will still win. If you take the number of registered voters right now by region, in the Rift Valley, as exists today, there are 3.757 million voters registered. If you go to Central,
and how many of those belong to Jubilee?
Just a minute. Yes. If you go to Central, there are 2.398, almost 2.4 million voters. If you go to Eastern, there are 2.3 million voters. Now, why if you go to Northeastern, just a minute. If you go to Northeastern, there are 400,000 voters. If you took the Jubilee vote in that block, that's the Jubilee block, you've got 8.9 million votes. Now go to CORD. If you give CORD Nairobi, give them Nairobi. In Nairobi, you have got 1.8 million voters. Go to Coast, they have 1.1 million voters. Those are the people. Give them Nyanza, 2.2 million voters. Western, the total, in Western, 1.6 million voters. Their total, if you give them everything, and we have all people in there also, and you give them Nairobi, they have 6.9. The difference between 8.9 and 6.9.
2 million.
2 million votes. And that's our people have not really. So let them stop lying that they have numbers. They don't have numbers.
This question is to Senator Omar and Senator Halwale. It appears that Jubilee, whether through propaganda or through fact, have actually taken this debate about numbers.
That is the register.
Voter registration.
We have 2 more million votes.
Voter registration kicks off on Monday. What is your plan? And are you going to discuss numbers as well?
First and foremost, let me tell you, Fred, the only reason we will lose the election next year, and this year, is if they use that manual register and rig. If it is an open contest that is free, fair, and managed through the democratic process envisaged in the Constitution, CORD, NASA will storm to victory very early morning.
Do you have numbers?
You see what happens? This tyranny of numbers theory is put first and foremost forward to disillusion and vanquish the imagination of our own constituency.
But it could work.
And then when they talk about, you see, when he delivers Rift Valley and Fu, he does not talk about the fact that Turkana never votes votes for CORD. He forgets that even where we lost the seats in Samburu, we still won the presidential elections as CORD. He forgets that where even they take the Nakuru governorship, we get a sizable number of that vote. And there will be a lot of other votes of discontent. He calls the entire northern Kenya to their fold, the 400,000. He forgets that in the last election, the same northern Kenya, we shared half and half with when it comes to Garissa.
I give you the whole of
presidency. We also shared Wajir. They took almost 90% of Mandera. So I think when they fool themselves by when they talk about Eastern, you know, Eastern is where there is about 1 million votes from the Kamba community, more than 1 million votes from the 3 Kamba counties. So they call entire blocks. So already I've counted for you 2 million votes, which I've pulled off from these constituencies. Put it there, that deficit they're talking about is a myth. I could pull another 1 million for you. Look at what the IBC, has given us.
We have 50-50 in Nairobi. We have been coast.
Look at what the IBC at the potential, the voter potential. Where are the areas? These guys have reached their saturation point when it comes to voter registration. We have not reached our saturation point when voter registration.
The opposition is not talking about the numbers they have.
Because they don't have the numbers.
Precisely. When you listen to Senator Wamatangi, it confirms one thing, that he has no exposure in the world of the science of statistics. Absolutely. The thing that is deliberately leaving out of this exciting figure of 3.7 million voters in the Rift Valley is the role of ethnicity. The ethnic factor will drive where these 3.7 million votes will go. One, the Kalenjin in the Rift Valley, out of that 3.7, will vote with Jubilee majority. But the Maasais will vote with CORD in Rift Valley. The Luyas will vote with CORD in Rift Valley. The Turukanas will vote with CORD in Rift Valley. The Samburus will vote with CORD in Rift Valley.
And if you add...
just a minute. So they want to
votes
beyond 1 million. They want to drive this agenda so as to use manual and tell people that those voters were actually
and now that you know that it's a plan by Jubilee to band around numbers. Voter registration starts on Monday.
Exactly.
Welcome.
But this was about to even.
This was about voter registration.
I think that's only threat. So that we don't perpetuate tribalism. That's not perpetuate tribalism. That's what I said earlier. Let's mobilize every Kenyan first of all to take their voters card. And it will be wrong for us to sit down as leaders and say, I'm only going to mobilize Kalenjins to vote, and I leave Luyas in Trans Nzoia from who are my neighbors from voting. Because
they will not listen to you.
You know, the point we are trying to say is that no, I think this level. I'm just saying.
Let me request
this. Yeah, I'm just saying this.
Just one request. Because of time, make that your final submission. Then we go around the final.
Personally, I think as a country we must allow every citizen to have a chance to vote, regardless of whether we think they will vote for us or not. And things are dynamic. In 2007, the Kalenjins, the Luos were voting together, the Luyas, you know, and so forth. Let's remove ourselves, because the register is going to be permanent. I mean, it's a long-term issue. Let's ensure that every Kenyan gets a chance to be able to be a voter. And let's then, after that registration, or before even that registration, convince every Kenyan. We have gone out of our way. We will ask votes from Nyanza. We will ask votes from Western. We will ask votes from Coast. It will be the Kenyan people to determine whether our programs that we've done, our report card, our manifesto is going to be appealing to them. And it should be really, we should be moving the country, even if it is at a slow pace, away from the argument that it can only be my tribe that's going to vote for me and the other tribe is going to vote for me. So that the voter registration issue, which I appeal to every Kenyan, is not about Raila and Uhuru. It's not about my tribe and his tribe. It's about a constitutional right in Article 38 of the Constitution for you to be able to make a decision. If you get so worried about Uhuru Kenyatta, and yet you would have an opportunity to determine the MCA who is going to do the budget for your county, the governor who is going to run the resources in your county, the senator who is coming to defend your county in Nairobi, and the MP who is coming to make legislations. Let's not be convoluted by the argument that only we are doing this for the sake of persons who are running for presidential office. Let's do it for the sake of our country, because building the democracy of this nation is one block at a time, and every citizen has a role.
Thank you, Senator.
Yeah.
My brothers and sisters, Kikuyu, my brothers and sisters, the Kalenjin, have also bared a heavy brand of Jubilee's mismanagement. And you talk to some of them on first or one-on-one level. They share in the concerns of the Kenyan people. They are Kenyans first and foremost, and they've been hurt severally by the corruption, by the economic decline, the lack of currency. And we're almost faced with a potential collapse of the economy. It's overstretched, it's overborrowing, it's overstealing, you know, we are not generating enough resource. So I think there's a general view that this country deserves better, and we are going to appeal to the very heart and soul of every Kenyan, including our brothers and sisters. So when Wamatangi lumps them and says, you know, we have Central Kenya, I mean, they have had a lot of problems. I talked to Kikuyus in Mombasa, because, you know, their concerns is about the future of their kids. It's about bread and butter issues. Who projects the best vision? Every parent wants the best for his child. Every parent wants a child like Khalwale, Murkomen, and myself, and Wamatangi. You're given an education, and you're able to fend for your life and provide honor and dignity to your parents and your family. So I think it is a misnomer to believe they will go and validate a regime that has demonstrated itself as lacking in the capacity to run an effective government and secure posterity. Okay. So I'm hopeful about that. Number two is to the membership that supports the opposition. There are challenges that come with the search for opposition unity, but we are hopeful. We have hope. The reason we wake up every morning, come to these shows, and go everywhere else that is deserving of our contribution and services is because we have hope. We cut down our holiday. In fact, we almost bear a heavy brunt on our family lives. We bear a heavy brunt on our social lives, because we are trying to work for that formula, and that formula will come. Don't believe those who are predicting doom for us. I think that what we need to do is to always wake up with hope. And the hope is that all of you are tired, and we will hopefully rescue this country.
Thank you, Senator Omar.
Thank you. Just very quickly on first what Khalwale said. When I read those figures, it's just to debunk that myth that they've been trying to build around the psyche of the country, that Jubilee doesn't have the numbers. And I was generous to grant them all the other blocks, but just for indication. What I would want them to begin with, and this is evident in the way we've been doing and propagating about our business, is we are the ones who have literally gone out in the entire country. I mean, they have been out there disparaging the deputy president, that he's come to Western. Khalwale was talking about it. Why is he in my place? He was in Mumias. We are the ones in Jubilee who have made sure that it is our top agenda to unite the country. Two, you know, let us say this without flinching. If you read and saw even in the body language of the people who were in this meeting in Bomas yesterday, you can see in their body language that they don't believe a minute in any of the single things that these gentlemen were trying to say. Reason why? You know, this country has moved and transitioned, but these guys don't realize politically. People have stopped believing anymore in empty political rhetoric. I mean, you show me something. Show me what you can do, what you can give. Tell me what the direction is. Yes. Show me from where we are coming from to where we are going. Show me in action. And this is what we've done. Now, these guys have banked continuously on abusing us, on disparaging, on empty rhetoric. People have said, now we want to see action. Now this is the language that these guys have not been able to interpret up to now. But we have tried our best as Jubilee, including using sign language. Sign language by actually going down to implement to them, even in their own areas. He was on stage yesterday saying that the president came to one of my factories. Now if you go there, go there. Which factory in Mombasa did Wetangula go to?
Senator Wamatangi.
Show the people in action.
Senator Wamatangi, thank you.
Finally, from me, the issue of numbers in 2013 was hyped because Jubilee wanted to use 2 million underage and dead voters to staff, which they did. And Kenyans thought those numbers...
No, we cannot allow lies. No, we can't allow lies to be perpetuated in the Jubilee.
That, coupled with ethnic mobilization, seemed to work very well. And ethnic mobilization was successful because they did it around the issue of ICC. Now, I lead a very modest life. I was in Limuru doing lunch to collect my daughter's results at Loreto.
And congratulations.
Thank you. And I sat with the locals, and they were all over me. And what I told them, I want to repeat today, that the election will no longer be about ICC, will turn on performance and corruption. And I told them, the money that has put Waiguru into problems, together with Kafura, it has never been indicated that it went to the accounts of the ordinary Kikuyu in Limuru. It didn't go to the account of the ordinary Kikuyu in Nyeri and what have you. Instead, the Auditor General has demonstrated that this money went into private accounts, including law firms. Now that Senator, you are here, you could use this opportunity to say whether the allegation that the money went into the account.
And I think you are here, and I give you that opportunity.
No, how are you? Can I conclude? It was my chance.
Some other things that we don't need to discuss.
How then will they win the election that is going to turn on corruption when the top honkers of Jubilee, Deputy President, Murkomen, Uhuru's family, they're all mentioned in corruption?
No, it will be unfair. First of all, there are two lies that my friend Kalwale is running. One is that the question that we stuffed the ballot boxes. That issue went to Supreme Court. There was absolutely nothing about any ballot boxes being stuffed, papers being stuffed anywhere. Those are just gimmicks, the usual gimmicks of Kalwale. Number two, Senator Kalwale was mentioned to have been bribed to 12 million to keep quiet on the Mumias. No, let me just say, to keep quiet on the Mumias issue. And until now, it's still out there to be proved whether he did or not. Senator Murkomen was never mentioned anywhere. A law firm where Senator Murkomen is a partner acting for any client will act even tomorrow when Senator Kalwale will be charged for the 12 million Mumias. He can come to a law firm for me to act for them.
Why did you beg this?
There's nothing that stops us from asking for criminals to defend yourself.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you, Senator Kipchumba Murkomen from Elgeyo Marakwet, Omar from Mombasa, Kimani Wamatangi from Kiambu, and Boni Halwale from Kakamega County, helping us look at the headlines this morning. Very informative, charged debate today. We hope we'll continue having this quality of debate as we go closer to the election. Remember, Power Breakfast continues. My name is Fred Indimuli. Good morning, but do not worry. Joy Mudengi still has more. Keep watching, Citizen.